Whoa, whoa, guys! Yep, we're back at it again with the Daily Wire and the Louder with Crowder feuding their civil war, getting bigger. This shit is legit. Like in WCW when the NWO split into the Red and Black Wolf Pack and the Black and White with Hollywood Hogan and Macho Man leading that side, right? All right, is that what it seems like? It's crazy what people with such like millions of dollars on the line would suddenly be petty about, but that's coming from a poor person, right? But from what I heard, or at least on the YouTube, Ben Shapiro says, yeah, it makes sense that Crowder's using this shit to make himself look like the underdog in all this and get the sympathy vote. He's trying to be the baby face and get all these subscribers that support him or whatever just go directly straight to him with his stopbigcon.com or whatever he's doing, as of to avoid like splitting any of the money with anyone else whatsoever. It's actually a pretty ingenious plan, but that's like basically what it is a plan, and I mean I can't blame him for that, but to use like your own team against you, it's a pretty fucked up move. And the time frame that Ben Shapiro and the Daily Wire were putting out on their show, that Crowder was doing all this in sort of a premeditated, calculated matter. And again, it is pretty smart on him, but all fucked up to do it to these organizations that considered him an ally, and I do appreciate how transparent the Daily Wire's been being with it. But who knows? Maybe they're hiding shit too, and it's just it's all a bunch of bullshit to fuel both sides of the agenda. But hey, it goes to show you can you legit can't trust anyone, because when it comes to the almighty dollar, there's always snakes in the grass, and a snake's gonna act like a snake, I will kind of keep up with it, see how it goes, because I'm enjoying how dramatic of a storyline this is turning out to be. Like, dude, for real, this is just like wrestling. It's fucking exciting to have like this faction sort of dismantling right in front of you and shit, And oh, hey, here's something that's not really news at all, but the media is trying very hard to make it news. Dakota Johnson, which the only thing I really know her from is her being that love slave in whatever 50 Shades of Grey movie, right? The trilogy, I guess. She made some sort of Army Hammer cannibalism joke at the Sundance Film Festival. And to me, I'm like, okay, let's read what the article's saying here. Okay, so here's what it's saying verbatim. Johnson joked that Guadagnino had wanted to cast her in Call Me By Your Name, but specifically as the character of the Peach that Timothy Chalamet, gets with or eats out, I guess, right? She continued, Luca had asked me to play the role of the Peach, but our schedules conflicted. Thank God, because then I would have been another woman that Army Hammer tried to eat. And I mean, come on, that's funnier than a lot of female comedians out here today. Shit, that's a lot funnier than a lot of male comedians that are out here today, And man, I remember legit going to the theaters and had seen at least the first 50 Shades of Grey with Linda. And I can't remember, do you remember, Linda, if we watched the first one and the second one in theaters? Like, I know I haven't seen the last one. I'm pretty sure Linda and I saw both the first one and the second one. And it's just meant to be like an erotic movie, but toned down to rated R, so it can only show so much, you can only do so much. And it's one of those movies where you feel like kind of awkward watching it in a theater, because you're supposed to have a hard dick or a bulging pussy, but you're in a fucking movie theater. You're not Pee Wee Herman. Cut it out. No, cut that shit out. And I'm pretty sure I've talked about how 50 Shades of Grey was legitimately started out as Twilight fan fiction before it even got published into a novel. So yeah, look, if you're an independent writer like me, remember that someone like 50 Shades of Grey started out just as fan fiction before becoming the $1 million success that it is today. Just like Crowder, except they took the money because they knew they weren't worth any more than what they got. They knew what they were worth. Now, I'm sure they got paid decently for it. I haven't seen any articles or stories saying otherwise, But yeah, I'm sure other people are still making fun of Army Hammer because that shit was kind of a big deal and everywhere. And that documentary that Discovery Plus had put out about him, I enjoyed. It was good. It was pretty good. But come on, like, why are y'all defending Army Hammer, saying like maybe she made a joke in bad taste? It's not like the dude actually fucking ate anybody. It's just a sexual kink that he had, or his whole family, from his grandfathers all the way down to him, passed on from generation to generation. So calm the fuck down. Like, look at me. I like when girls like do the robot dance, so I'm not gonna get horny every time I see a fucking artificial intelligence robot on a movie, you know? So yeah, cut her some slack if she's trying to break the ice and be funny, but these snowflakes want to plow over her like Jeremy Renner. Ooh, now that's how you do a too soon joke. Now I hope he's okay. I heard he was back with his family, Jeremy Renner, but things weren't looking good for like one or two of his legs or something. But hey, Disney Plus has the money to CGI all that shit in, so I think he'll be fine, guys. Don't worry so much about it. I'm pretty sure the fans are more worried about the way Phase 5 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe would actually go than the actual safety of the actors that play them. But it's the wonders and amazements of CGI, huh? Right? Am I right? I mean, fucking, you date it back to what, The Rock being in the Scorpion King, and people talking shit about that. Crispin Glover would be spitting in his grave right now if he were dead. Or at least a corpse with the likeness of him would be spitting in that grave. Speaking of spinning, I guess, is that what I wrote? Okay. I saw the government had reached the debt ceiling. And I don't know whatever huge debt we already have. It's in the fucking trillions or some ridiculous shit, right? What does this mean to us? Does that mean like the government shuts down or something and maybe some people have to go home or some jobs are stopping? And dude, just like all these other companies that are basically cutting employees because of budget cuts or they want to turn better profits, the government needs to do that shit. I'm pretty damn sure the government is a lot like the band Slipknot, and only 5 people are actually playing the instruments and doing shit, and the rest of them just flop around and bang trash cans and look like they're doing stuff, you know? Dude, and the government's still sending money to Ukraine too. Like, what the fuck, dude? Like, are you trying to get nudes from Ukraine? You already subscribed to their OnlyFans with that huge $1 million fucking shit you gave them, and now you're just sending them tips because you're fucking horny at this point, bro? Like, what? Actually, what is there in Ukraine that we need so bad? Like, why do they need to be independent? Why is that so fucking bad? Like, would it be really, really bad if they lost this war and had to be a part of Russia? Come on, because we're spending all this money on this shit, and it's like, is it even worth it at this point? But whatever. What do I know? Maybe I would know more if I could get back on Adderall. Here's hoping for Adderall in 2023. That's who I'm voting for. Adderall in 2023. And lastly, finally, emotionally, I got to watch the first episode of The Last of Us on HBO. And I haven't actually sat down and watched a TV show in a while. It was kind of weird. And yeah, it was very good. Well, it was basically a movie. It was fucking like an hour long thing, right? An hour and 15 minutes, maybe. I couldn't tell you how faithful it is to the adaptation of the game, because I remember having the game and having a PS3 that was technically my sister's at the time, and playing maybe like the first level of it. But literally the only game I've ever beaten on the PlayStation 3 is Heavy Rain. And if you know about Heavy Rain, you know, like, I love Heavy Rain. I don't fucking care how the people who shit on the game and might think it's like boring or predictable or it sucks or it's glitches or whatever. I fucking love it. It is so worth playing. So yeah, I'm all about it. Where the guy at the beginning is like, Jason. But back to The Last of Us. Yeah, it was very good. Like that Pedro Pascal. He kind of reminds me of like a Mexican Chris Pratt, doesn't he? Like, have they ever been in the same room together? But yeah, it was a very good first episode. Now, why the fuck couldn't Resident Evil do that shit, but on Netflix? Like, I hope people learn from this and realize that they really have no need to stray so fucking far away from the source material, or even why take your own liberties to make it your own when the source material already given to you is already so, like, good of a story, you know? But who knows? Only time will tell, right? If the stock of it goes down, because it's just the first episode. And if we've learned anything from other companies, video game or even cartoon adaptions, looking at you, Velma, you stupid, oh my god. Like, they always find a way to royally fuck it up, right? But shit, maybe it was a plan. of HBO to release the shitstorm that was Velma, to make The Last of Us look so fucking good that it's essentially perfection compared to it. It's like putting an ugly chick next to a kind of pretty chick, and she ends up becoming beautiful and 20 times hotter looking, you know? So if that's your plan, HBO, bravo. You've planned ahead just as much as fucking Steven Crowder, all you fucking premeditated maniacs, you dumb, you pieces of shits. But yeah, that's it for today, guys. If y'all really want to stop Big Con, like Crowder says, check out my Patreon at patreon.com/Lorenzo Ariola for exclusives and ad-free episodes. And it just helps oil the machine. That's all funny. And I appreciate it. You don't have to, but it always makes me smile, you know. Thank you so much. And yeah, share the YouTube, youtube.com/@Lorenzo Ariola. Like, share, subscribe, comment, all that gay shit. And whose side are you on? Crowder's or the Daily Wires, you know? Let me know. After another day of all the info, I'm still with the Daily Wire, you know. At least they're the lesser of the two evils. And do you remember 50 Shades of Grey? Did you ever watch it? Like, was that Dakota's cannibal joke too much or too soon? Are all jokes too soon now? And have you ever masturbated to something that isn't actually porn? Because I have. And I'd love to hear what you might have to say about that hot take. And what do you think of The Last of Us on HBO? I'm glad I haven't actually played the game, because I can be surprised, and like I don't have a bar set. There's really no candle to hold next to it, so I won't be complaining if this actress doesn't look like this, or hey, those water effects aren't as reflective as they were in the trailer, or whatever the fuck critics complain about. But yeah, leave your comments, tell me what's up, guys, and thanks for listening, and take care. Bye.